terribly interesting. I knew this month was going to be interesting after last month. The overall energy is that of love. Now, I think this is a feeling rather than an event. It's how you should feel. In order to progress what you're attempting to progress, Gnosis, you do it through love. Now, you've been trying to do it through magic. You've been taking the path of the magician in the past without fully understanding that the path of the magician is a deeply psychological path. A deeply psychological path. And raising your vibrations and love is more important than a belt made of lion skins, or whatever it may be. Now, you can't fully abandon that, because this month you're still looking into the sort of paranormal, but with a much, much greater sophistication, looking more at the psychological factors. Current energy is that of investing for the future. I think investing for yourself, learning things. Well, you're certainly learning things. We know that's exactly what you're doing. But is that what this is about? Or is it another learning that you're doing? Learning within the mundane world? I'm not sure. As a result of you sort of going into the sort of more psychological elements of change, you emerge with great knowledge. Great knowledge. Yes, combine love and magic, and you get this sort of psychology, and that does lead to this great knowledge. So it is leading to what you want. But it also leads to great fear in the future, not this month, because you begin to realise that you're not in control of this at all. It's all about submission, that everything is sent for you to learn, and that leads you to having nightmares. Difficult to release control, isn't it? What would change things is you taking a difficult decision. Now, I'm not sure what this is, but I strongly suspect it's a decision between the material benefits of what you've been trying to achieve and Gnosis. And if you could take that decision, then things would be clearer for you. Wow, Taurus, let's get into it. And the key to this reading, and the thing that you've been missing, is love. I think it's because, there was a narcissist who betrayed you, a narcissist lover. I'm sure of it. And I think as a result, you've developed maybe a sort of materialistic view of love, seeing it for what it can get you. And this is a pure love. This is the love that comes from discovering that brilliant light that comes from God. That brilliant light where nothing matters, but this overall feeling of divine love. Now, I have to say, in my explorations, there is no difference really between the sort of mundane love and the divine love. Indeed, even the act of love making itself can feel very, very like this divine love. It's a shade, if you like. It's the difference between royal and navy blue, if you can see what I mean. It's so very close. So don't shun one, thinking it's got nothing to do with the other. And Taurus, we know you've always fancied yourself as a magician. Indeed, all that's going on is you trying to be the magician. And no harm in it, I'm not putting it down, but what's happening to you now is you're beginning to realise that you became a magician maybe to achieve something, and it isn't what you want anymore. It no longer matters. And so therefore you just wanted to be a magician as a magician. But even that now seems hollow. There's so much more there. There's something that you're missing in simply being a magician. It doesn't give you what you think you need. And the missing element is love. And we'll come back to that. Your current energy is that of investing in the future, almost certainly investing in yourself. Now, is this to do with the material world? It could be. It could be you're simply learning or training. But no, I think it's to do with this magic. You're learning more, you're anxious to find out more. And I think you're beginning to realise that these, I mentioned it before, these lion skin belts, these divine timings, these Latin quotations, even the drawing of sigils is all about your confidence, and nothing to do with the fact that you must do this for this to work, even though that's what you've been told. And I think you're beginning to get to the end of your learning with your head and coming to learning with your heart. Last month, Taurus, you were given the opportunity to turn back, to go back to your original focus on the material. And I don't think you did. I think you followed the path of the Gnostic, followed this spiritual path. And where it's going to lead you this month is the realisation that it's about submission. You don't actually have control of anything. And that learning that nothing matters, nothing, apart from love or the light or God, but nothing really matters. The detail doesn't matter. The detail is irrelevant, and you have no control of anything. And that what is sent to you is sent to you so that you should learn from it. And therefore you should embrace everything. There is no good, there is no bad. But my God, in the future, that's going to keep you awake at night. The knowledge that there is nothing, it's a complete nothingness, is going to play on your mind and stop you from sleeping for so long. Now, I said love was what was missing from your magic. And what do you get when you combine love with magic? Or love with the magician, at least. You get the high priestess. This is somebody that combines what you might call magic, the paranormal, let's say, with psychology and a little bit of quantum physics thrown in there as well. And when you combine all those things, surely you have the answer. And what this month's reading's about, that even though you feel at the end of this month that you have the answer, because if you do look at quantum physics, you do look at psychology, you do look at magic, there does seem to be a theme running through it. But it's after this month that this nothingness takes over, which is what keeps you lying awake at night. That actually quantum physics, psychology, are providing a fraction, and indeed magic, a fraction of the majesty of God. A fraction of the majesty that us humans will never comprehend. And that is the nothingness that I talk of. You've already made your choice, haven't you? I thought you hadn't, but you have. You've already made your choice. You've chosen the path of Gnosis. You've not chosen the material path. But that option is still there. You can still turn back, but you've not, have you? And you're not going to. You're going to see this through. Even though it does mean those sleepless nights in the future. Now, I know you've chosen. But if you do choose the materialist path, you will get some of those material blessings that you sought before. But you now understand they're completely hollow. They're completely meaningless. No, you've chosen Taurus. I know you have. And I've said, you're combining the knowledge that you have, and, you're still learning. You're still learning. And I'm sure that's what that learning is about. It's not material. You're still learning. You're combining your knowledge of magic with a knowledge of psychology, with a knowledge of quantum physics. And when you put all those things together, it's as though you can begin to comprehend God's cosmos. Begin. But when you really, really think about it, and that's what's going to happen after this month, you're going to realise that all are simply scratching the surface. And that the human mind cannot comprehend the majesty of the cosmos. Now, what I want to tell you is you're going to be wiser than almost anybody else in the world. There are few people who get to this realisation. Ibn Arabi is definitely one. Rumi is another. But, people like Richard Dawkins, people like Stephen Hawkins, esteemed scientists, they've never got to where you are. They've never understood what you're going to understand, despite them having devoted their lives to trying to get to this point, because you've approached it in a different way. You're going to realise the nothingness itself is important. Taurus, last month you were given the opportunity of pursuing materialism rather than spirituality. And I wasn't certain which you'd chosen. In fact, I thought you'd not made the choice, but you have, haven't you? You've chosen the path of Gnosis. And that's what this month is all about. You've been learning, and you continue to learn about magic, but this month we inject love into that magic. We inject a spirituality into that magic. And that means that you emerge with the energy of the high priestess. This is somebody that combines not only magic or the paranormal, but psychology and quantum physics. And if you put all those together, it looks like there's a path through it. It looks like it really does explain God's cosmos. And that's where you're going to end up at the end of this month, having seen a path through it all. But do you know, after this month, you're going to realise that even that only scrapes the surface. Now, as I've already said, that puts you way ahead of most people. You'll reach the esteemed position of people like Ibn Arabi and Rumi reached. It's taken some doing, hasn't it? You know, but you're way ahead of even the most respected scientists. So, you know, well done. But unfortunately, that knowledge, the knowledge of nothingness, the knowledge that nothing matters, the knowledge that we humans are nothing, that we humans cannot possibly comprehend. We haven't even got the senses to comprehend the majesty of God's universe. So how arrogant of us feeling that we can do it. And that keeps you awake at night. It's not going to happen this month, it'll be after. But you'll be kept awake at night with a massive realisation that we humans are just nothing. Nothing at all. God bless you, Taurus. I think you're getting there. You really are.